Uganda Women's Effort to Save Orphans, UWESO, was founded in 1986 by Ugandan mothers committed to providing relief aid to needy children affected by the HIV/AIDS pandemic and civil unrest in the mid-1980s.
UWESO was formed by a group of women who saw it very important to support the plight of vulnerable children. We are happy to be supported by the First Lady of Uganda.
Today, UWESO's holistic approach targets orphans and vulnerable children, working through grassroots clusters based at community level.
Over time, UWESO has actually reached many households and impacted on the lives of very many children.
The Realizing Livelihood Improvement Through Savings and Education project is an initiative that was started to make a significant contribution to the elimination of child labor in tobacco-growing areas in Hoima district in Uganda. The Realize project is being implemented by UWESO, a partner of the Eliminating Child Labor in Tobacco-Growing Foundation, with an objective to give children every opportunity to reach their full potential. This is by addressing the root cause of child labor in tobacco growing.
This area is well known for growing tobacco, growing rice, charcoal burning. Most of the children are involved in that work. You know, some of these parents in this area, they produce children for work, manual work. They don't, and in fact, at times they are passive about education.
Some of us would at times go to school without books, go with only pens with nowhere to write. While looking for money to buy books, we would do part-time work.
In Uganda, as in many sub-Saharan African countries, child labor is highly prevalent in the agriculture sector. With families in poverty and the cost of school prohibiting their attendance, many children stay at home to work. Hoima district, located in Western region, is one of the largest tobacco-growing districts in Uganda.
The project doesn't focus on only tobacco, but all other forms of child labor in that area, including other sectors like tea, like rice growing, like fishing, and other forms of child labor within Hoima.
The project addresses the root cause of child labor by focusing on 5 strategic objectives. Under each objective, the Realize project implements a broad range of approaches to empower communities and sustain the impact of the project over time. These include withdrawal, education and social services, strengthening communities, awareness and advocacy, alleviating poverty. The Realize project has been able to impact 18,000 households and 5,940 children. Through Realize, UWESO identifies and withdraws children who are engaged in child labor and protects children at risk of entering child labor. This also involves protecting children who are by law old enough to work but who should not do tasks that are harmful to their health, safety and well-being.
We're able to reach the various communities through the government structures, through the various sub-counties, and through the probation office, through the community development office, and they are withdrawn from child labor and enrolled in schools.
The Realize project has been implemented in 5 sub-counties of Hoima district, and these are Kitoba, Kyangwali, Kigorobya, Bugambe, and Buhanika. Over 5,600 children in these sub-counties who were previously engaged in or at risk of child labor in tobacco-growing areas have been helped to access quality education. These children go to 14 primary schools which are under the universal primary education.
And therefore, our contribution is to enable them to be in school by supplementing the efforts of government and the efforts of their parents so that they are able to have scholastic materials, books, pens, mathematical sets, and other school-related facilities that are beyond the UPE. And also, they are provided with school uniforms so that they are able to fit in school and go back to school.
Ma, ma, me, 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 mo, mo,
Well, we have also been able to educate, pay school fees, and buy uniforms for 100 secondary students in the 5 sub-counties. Each sub-county was taking 20 students. We then aim that as we are sponsoring them, their parents who are in the saving groups, we expect these parents to continue paying for their children.
The project has also helped 240 children between 15 to 17 years who are beyond primary school going age to get vocational training, notably car and motorcycle mechanics, hairdressing, tailoring, carpentry, catering, plumbing, welding and electronics.
And as I talk right now, almost 90% of those children who finished in vocational skills are self-employed. They have started their own saloons. There are those doing welding. There are doing those involved in building and tailoring and garment cutting as well.
So we're able to give them startup kits, which have enabled many of these children now to engage in those various trades, and they're able to support themselves.
The youth that came for these skills, they are very happy. In fact, they have appreciated very much on what UWESO did for them, because very many of them, they were stuck in villages. They were just there, redundant, idlers, but now they are at least responsible people.
Things are moving on well. We get income that helps us, and we also save something.
In the
village, I used to cultivate tobacco since my parents could not afford to pay school fees for me. So UWESO brought me to Tom's place and he has taught me welding and motorcycle repair, and I'm now conversant with them. I use the money I earn for personal needs like clothing, which used to be a challenge.
Also, to address the problem of child labor in Hoima district, UWESO has helped to improve school infrastructure like renovating classrooms, providing clean water facilities, and therefore improve the learning environment of the children. Parents, teachers, and students have been trained on child labor and how to support children who are withdrawn from it. For some schools, we have painted classroom walls, repaired cracked floors, and also painted murals which carry an educative message about the dangers of child labor in society.
My name
is Nyamahunge Edith. I'm in P6. I thank UWESO for all they have done for us, like constructing boreholes, classrooms, giving us books, pens, and uniforms. One of the reasons that forces children to work in tobacco gardens is so that they can supplement family income or they have a low income at household level. Owing to the above, UWESO introduced the Village Savings and Loan Associations, VSLAs, as a strategy to improve household income levels by inculcating the savings culture and promoting self-help projects among orphan and vulnerable children caregivers. About 600 VSLA groups have been formed to cater for 18,000 caregivers, and over 7,000 have been trained to save and learn business skills. Some have already started sustainable income-generating activities such as poultry, animal rearing, beekeeping, and others. More than 375 community-based trainers have received trainings to support their VSLA groups.
And we believe that as they also meet regularly, they discuss issues of child labor, and the savings they also make will definitely go a long way to make them raise money to pay fees for their children, and also it creates other alternative livelihoods other than tobacco growing.
When it comes to ending child labor, no single player can make a significant difference in isolation. Governments, trade unions, and employers all have the responsibility to work together. That kind of collaboration can be extremely difficult and at times can be all too rare. Therefore, UWESO, through the ECLT Foundation funding, together with other stakeholders, developed a national action plan, which represented a legal framework to implement project interventions that would best help children against the worst forms of child labor.
And this action plan is like a shopping document on issues of child labor. It is helping, the district is helping the other CSOs to understand the problem of child labor. At the district level, we are working closely with the community department, education department, and water officer to ensure that children are protected.
We have tried to sensitize both the teachers and the parents. We have been holding symposiums at sub-county levels, education discussions, sharing with the parents what their challenges are, and even sharing with the teachers what the challenges are.
We have a functional district OVC coordination committee, and also at the sub-county level we have the sub-county OVC coordination committees. So most of the issues have been tabling them together with our partners and stakeholders. And we are really trying to come up with strategies which at least reduce the magnitude of the problem.
We want to appeal to the private sector because the private sector is also looking at the very people whom we are supporting. So let them not sit back and wait for these people to grow. Let them intervene at this point when these children are still young. Engage their households and, if possible, commit some money, some of their resources to help fight this vice of child labor. We also want to appeal that the governance structures should really be strengthened. Because where the governance is weak, you find that there is no serious intervention can last.
UWESO, UWESO, UWESO. Oh, how wonderful you are. Taking care of us. We who were once forsaken. Let's work in tobacco plantations. Carrying heavy loads. Taking care of babies at home. While our friends are busy progressing in their education. No more child labor, no more child labor. Yes, yes, yes. Quality education in progress.
It takes a partnership of parents, multiple stakeholders, technical advisors, governments, and advocating on behalf of children to ensure that their voices are heard and their rights are respected. It takes helping families succeed, strengthening communities and public systems so that they can protect vulnerable children until they reach a legal working age.
Amabara gange ninyokyumuro misaki. Kirasi insumiro mpifo. Bana banyikalirai banywani bange. Miaka yange 14. Kusaba bya UWESO byetukolire. Ekanya mu kyaro yagiye yandita isomero. Yantwara kunanga kunyambaga. Kunyabaye ndi mu kyaro nyali mageta hapo. Yagiye atanika kunyamba yampa seti. Yampa n'ebitabu. Na bine byora binjweire UWESO ne yabimpaire.
I want to thank the various structures which have supported this project, especially the National Steering Committee that sits at the national level. It draws members from various sectors. I want to thank them very much for their input in this program. A number of times they've gone to monitor the project on the ground. I also thank the district local government of Hoima for their commitment to this project, and most importantly, our donor, Elimination of Child Labor in Tobacco Growing.
So we'd like to thank ECOT for the support, and we thank the government of Uganda and the district local government of Hoima for their support, because we're not doing it as UWESO, but it's joint effort of all those different stakeholders for the work they're doing.